In this video, I'll be explaining why end of series assault mode Meliodas would beat the one ultimate Escanor, and why end of series demon mark Meliodas would beat end of series the one Escanor with no difficulty. People have this misconception that Escanor is the strongest just because he has aura and he has strength to support his aura farming. But their viewpoint of end of series Escanor being able to somehow beat true magic Meliodas is just disgustingly flawed. So I'll explain why weaker versions of end of series Meliodas can beat Escanor just by comparing them. So there won't be any traditional power scaling like if they are planetary or universal, etc. And to start off, we'll look at what Escanor was able to accomplish fighting the Demon King and how well he did. And then we will do the same for Meliodas. So in chapter 327, we see Escanor in the one state, about to fight the Prime Demon King. With the Demon King sheathing his sword, he faces the one. Escanor made the first punch, and the Demon King responded in kind, with both of them damaging each other. But what is worth noting is that the Demon King had the upper hand in strength. As we see him punch Escanor so hard, Escanor slides back a good distance. But when Escanor jumps in the air and punches the Demon King on his head, all that did was make the Demon King fall on one knee, and then Escanor gets blitzed because the Demon King was on one knee and was a bit away from Escanor. But then next page, the Demon King gives Escanor a two-piece combo. And after the headbutt, they both land one hit each. And then that's all we see for the one Escanor, as the Demon King pierces his body with a punch, which would have killed him. But although it was impressive that he was able to box with the Demon King for a bit, it didn't do as well as what most try to make it out to be. But as for the one ultimate Escanor, he gets hit 4 times, and that was able to make him bleed, but he was able to land a lot more hits on the Demon King. But that's only because the Demon King only had one arm and the other was trapped between Escanor's abs. But the thing is that the one ultimate Escanor still took damage from the Demon King and would have been blitzed by a darkness attack if Meliodas didn't use Vanish Counter on it. And that's the end for the one ultimate Escanor, as the rest is just him fighting alongside his fellow sins. But compared to Meliodas' fight with the Prime Demon King, it's kinda laughable, as we see Meliodas versus the Prime Demon King in chapter 320, with a Demon Mark Meliodas sword fighting the Demon King, which, if you are not aware, just having any kind of weapon in hand is a massive increase, as explained by King and visually shown through multiple feats. But that also depends on the quality of the weapon, and in this case, Meliodas' Sacred Treasure is on the same quality as the Demon King's sword created out of his own power, with both blades taking no damage. It's also worth mentioning that in this fight, Meliodas was holding back and trying to find a way to save Zeldris. And this is further shown when the Sins come and help Meliodas, but Meliodas doesn't do as good as he was doing on his own, with him damaging the Demon King and sending him flying and taking blows. He was even complimented by the Demon King, and him saying that this Demon Mark Meliodas is a worthy opponent to test his power. Whereas the Demon King didn't see that with the one Escanor, and in fact didn't even bother using his weapon, which would have made him stronger. And it's also not like Meliodas can't amp his weapon with Darkness or Hellblaze and get a 10 times amp, as again he was holding back with the Demon King. But in this hypothetical fight, that wouldn't be the case, and we also see a base or Demon Mark Meliodas blitz an attack that would have blitzed the one ultimate Escanor. So I would say Demon Mark Meliodas would beat the one ultimate Escanor, who could only last 1 minute, with the Demon King, even though the Demon King had the stats advantage. And as for Meliodas' assault mode, this would be a easy W, since his assault mode is at least a one-shot tier above his Demon Mark, since we do see when Meliodas was in Velasquez's dark space, Demon Mark Meliodas used an attack to try break out of it, but it did nothing. But just Meliodas about to transform into assault mode, that dark space was destroyed with no difficulty. And then added on another 10 times amp, as we see him amp his sacred treasure with dark magic, and then add on his clones, in which he can make as many as he wants. With however many clones he makes, the clones would be weaker than the main Meliodas. So example, if you were to make 10 clones, with each amping their weapons with darkness, each one of those clones would still be as strong as the main Meliodas if the main Meliodas didn't amp his sacred treasure with darkness. Also, we do see assault mode Meliodas blitz past Escanor, even though Escanor had a head start. So all in all, assault mode Meliodas would effortlessly no-diff the one ultimate Escanor without any question. The difference in stats is so great that Meliodas probably would one-shot this Escanor, as the one ultimate Escanor doesn't seem to be as drastic as an amp as what people try and make it out to be, with him still taking damage from the Demon King without using his weapon, and him barely doing as much of damage to the Demon King compared to his the one state. And seeing how the others just call it the one, or keeping somehow being able to be in the one with how noon passed, it's more than likely that the one ultimate is just the one state just past high noon. Although it does seem to have a bit of a speed increase, but that's still quite questionable. But anyway, that's why I believe Meliodas, or assault mode and Demon Mark Meliodas, would win. And that's it for the video, and until next time, peace.